Hello everyone, my name is AZZATRU, how are you, and welcome to another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video of mine. And in this video, I am going to be beginning a part of the exploration series where I explore the campaign missions. I know, for the longest time you guys have been requesting me to explore the campaign maps, and that is what I'm going to be doing. And I could not start this series without going straight to the end of the campaign with the final mission, Discoverers, where you play as KYLO REN and explore maps like Scarif from the first Battlefront game, and it's just a really cool mission. It's a unique mission, and I thought I would kick things off with a really interesting look at all of these different maps, and there'll be some surprises along the way, so get ready, and I hope you enjoy the upcoming exploration video. So the mission starts with KYLO REN inside the Corvis, the ship of Star Wars Battlefront 2's Inferno squad. And as you can see, we have this sky backdrop, and the model used for KYLO REN is the same one we see as the standard multiplayer appearance. But if we zoom out and come away from the Corvis ship, you can see that Scarif is connected with this ship room. It's all intertwined, it's one big level. So when you do head out of the corridor, you will see Scarif from Star Wars Battlefront. And it's not one of the exact maps from the previous game like some people think it is. It's a custom-made map. It's completely different and really short compared to all of the other maps in the previous game's expansion. But it does have the Citadel. You can see the railroad that we see in Rogue One, the movie. And the lighting's a bit weird when you do come away from the actual mission part, playable area itself, but there is a really low res version of the Citadel tower, and it goes deep underwater as well. It's actually surprisingly much higher quality than I expected up close, but it's still quite low res, and the lighting is really weird in this mission, so I apologise if things just get really bright and the whole screen goes white, because that's literally what happens when you start getting close to things. But there's the radar dish, and there's the signal there is the signal dish. Now, as you can see, there aren't actually many like little islands around this map. It's very small, and you can't see this when you're actually playing the level anyway. But just thought I'd point that out there. And as you can see, there is the Corvis corridor in red and black. So the Corvis is now underwater. So when you walk into Scarif, the water actually floods the Corvis, which is quite cool actually, because it's basically loaded in the water for the entire level. And of course, the Corvis sort of bridge area is right there. Now look at this. We've got shore troopers. You know, you've played the mission before. There are shore troopers in Battlefront 2. Give us this skin dice, and also batons as well from those stormtroopers. Now, let's take a look at this part of the map. It actually goes much further than you can get to. None of these doors open in the mission, but it allows you to go to the railroad if they were to open, which is quite interesting. Now, this section of the map is taken straight from Battlefront 2015. We have the TIE Strikers modelled in. It's the same exact model from the previous game. And like I said, it's a much smaller version of the previous game's maps. It's not the same. Some people thought it was just a port over, so surely they could port it over into multiplayer for Battlefront 2. That is not true. It's a very small and unique made map just for this. So let's take a look inside this TIE variant, and there isn't much to it, but there's actually more modelling to this than the regular TIE fighters and TIE interceptors in Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is somewhat interesting. But anyway, let's move on to the next segment of the map. We do have this bunker, and this leads you on to the next part of the mission. As you can see, it's a dead end. It will load in another map, which we will see in a few moments' time. But something I wanted to test out was, what other lighting situations could we get on Scarif? Well, if you go to this angle, the skybox is completely different. The lighting is completely different. As you can see, the atmosphere is less grey clouds and a lot less menacing. It's more like a perfect paradise, to be honest. The clouds are white, there's a lot less cloud, bluer skies, the lighting is pretty nice. But this isn't the lighting you get in the mission, actually, which is quite interesting. And this isn't the same lighting in any of the other Battlefront 1 maps. And then we have a weapon from Battlefront 1 being used by this Shore Trooper that I wished was going to be in the game. Now, this is something I noticed. I paused the game while I was jumping as KYLO REN, and his hood came off. DICE, give us this skin, a hoodless KYLO REN, please. And even part of his cape came away as well from his waist. But yeah, his hood thing can come off. So they need to give us. I mean, we've had mods for months. So please give us. Anyway, if we move on to the next section of the level, it actually loads out and loads in a completely different version of Scarif. There is nothing there but some shrubs. But there's also 2 new maps that are completely untextured. It's just some terrain which does not resemble anything we've seen before, really. And I know what it is. It's Pillio. And the other one is Vardos. But as you can see, this Scarif map is completely unlike anything we've seen before. There is literally no structure, but here is Endor. Endor is the next one. And we have this Mon Calamari cruiser floating above this segment, the start of the Battlefront campaign, but we're not going to go to that just a moment. Look at this sphere. Wow, it's the front end menu. What do you know? I mean, I wasn't expecting that, but here you have it. The front end menu is hidden below the missions of the campaign. Crazy, right? Well, this is probably one of the major things they were doing when they were revamping the front end menu. They had to put this into every single other mission of the campaign, so that's something to think about. I know it's weird, it's very small, but here is an X-Wing currently struck by a tree, and it's a fully modelled X-Wing that's even got the pilot in for the Rebel Alliance. We also have a TIE fighter as well. Now look at this. This just completely does not work, that Imperial structure. And if we go under the map, we don't find anything of interest. I mean, they did some fantastic trickery work to make it seem like this Endor forest was massive, but it's actually a really small playground. And as you can see, this is the Mon Calamari cruiser. It's the same sort of model we get in multiplayer. It's actually a low res version of one we see in most of the Starfighter Assault maps. But let's skip to Pilio, which is one of the better missions in Star Wars Battlefront 2. We do have that incredible mission with Luke Skywalker. And there is the spear again, but let's take a look at the Pillio map. We did see it a few moments ago, just the terrain untextured, but it's a beautiful looking map. It's got all these waterfalls and rocks everywhere. But let's just get straight into the observatory sort of museum section, and we do have boxes. You look up outside, we have really weird structures yet again. It's a completely messy mission. We also have some birds flying around. So here is some of Gleb's troops. This skin could be easily in Battlefront 2's multiplayer. Anyway, let's take a look at Vardos, which is absolutely huge for its size. Like, seriously. By the way, I apologise, the camera's all a bit fuzzy still. I've tried to remove as many effects as possible to clean the image up so you guys can see, because when you're playing the mission, it kind of annoys you, to be honest. I wish there was an option to turn it fully off, but there is not. I did the best, and as you can see, Vardos is huge in comparison to the actual playable area. We're only in this slight playable area, but it's the same map, basically, from the multiplayer mission. But inside this tower, we do have the ending of the mission, of the Discoveries mission, where you will find Mr. Del Meeko on his knees, waiting for KYLO to torture him again. And this is where the battle between the First Order troopers, Gleb's troops, take place when Vardos is being destroyed by Operation Cinder. And as you can see, all of this mission is pretty much the same mission that we played on as Vardos near the start of the campaign. It's fully textured, almost, except for the outer stuff, which is really complex. I didn't think there'd be so much detail in such surrounding areas, especially when you can't see most of it anyway. But there you go. And we do have the traitor weapon held by this First Order Stormtrooper, which is such a shame not to see it in multiplayer. It would be pretty cool. We also have the Inferno Squad using those weapons, again, that are not in the game. Well, for Battlefront 2's multiplayer at least. And we also have a Imperial Officer, a few Imperial Officers. Those outfits would be kind of cool to see in multiplayer, to be honest. And then at the end of the campaign, it will load straight everything out and just this part of the Corvis. Literally everything disappears except for this ending before the final cutscene of the campaign plays. So there you have it, the exploration of Scarif, Pillio, Endor, Vardos, all in the Discoveries mission, even the Corvis as well, I should mention. I hope you enjoyed this video and found something new. What do you think to these discoveries? No pun intended. What do you think about Kylo with no hood? What about the Scarif lighting? And, you know, I'm guessing a lot of people will be commenting, we want Scarif in the game, and I'd love to see it sometime next year after the Clone Wars content does release. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember, I'll be covering more missions of the campaign now. I've done every single multiplayer map in this exploration series. If you missed any of the multiplayer maps, such as Kashyyyk, Kamino, Naboo, Endor, all the Starfighter Assault maps, all of the Infantry Galactic Assault maps, they are done from Mos Eisley to Crate. Check them out in this playlist that's on screen right now. But if you missed any of the other videos on screen, go check them out as well. And I shall see you all in my next Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Goodbye.